Good morning everybody. What's in your living room? Surround sound cinema system? Nope. Widescreen telly? Nope. Ergo and turbo trainer plus a few weights? Yes. And these things here provide a fantastic opportunity to cross-contaminate and spread the coronavirus if you're not sensible and have sensible, proportionate, pragmatic and straightforward measures to prevent contamination. Not a lot of people use these anyway, but the reason I'm saying this is because we've got a load of stuff here at home that we'll use, but also there's a local gym down the road that I can walk to and use. It's a private members gym, but other people will be using it. So I just thought it'd be worthwhile just spending a few minutes talking about sensible, proportionate, pragmatic measures to decontaminate kit and avoid the spread, and also at the same time maintaining something of a sensible routine rather than just hiding in your house and not going out. It's a lovely sunny day, so why not get out in the sun? Just avoid close contact with others outside your immediate group. Anyway, there's a prayer mat I got from Jordan a few years ago. Hasn't seen much action recently, a few Indian clubs, but anyway, let's just talk about what I'm doing and have been doing for the last couple of weeks just to control contamination within my area. Like I say, just not over the top, just sensible, proportionate and pragmatic measures. I've been wearing gloves for quite a few weeks now. These are basically maxi grip poly grip gloves. You can get them for £1.20 each, buy them in sets of 10, and they're pretty good weight training gloves anyway. I also use them for cycling, I use them for gardening, but I have loads of these, and basically that stuff there, chlorine bleach, kills all known germs dead, as the advertising used to say for one particular brand. Can't get much better than that. If you haven't got that, fairy liquid. People have been using Dettol. Dettol is antibacterial, has some antiviral qualities against flu. It's not been tested against coronaviruses or COVID-19, but they anticipate it will be pretty good for that as well. And what I've got there is a protein powder container. And what I do in my van, or if I walk around, that has some water in it, some chlorine bleach, and as I use the various sets of gloves, I dunk them in the tank, let them soak for a little while, and after that I basically once a day hang up to dry on the line and pick them up the next day. It's really simple as that. A sensible measure without going over the top. Also a little sponge there as well. So what I tend to do here, when you think about it, I don't tend to do it so much here because it's only me and Sonia using the kit, but when you think about it, when you go down the gym, you would normally, hopefully, clean the kit after use anyway. People give it a cursory wipe over. Of course, in these days, maybe a bit more than the cursory wipe over without hosing the whole thing down and going mad. So I've got a little, that's my kit, little sponge, a few sets of gloves, chlorine bleach or washing up fluid or whatever, and my, in this case, my protein powder container with a bit of water in it, which is my little dunk tank that I can wash my hands in if I need to, and dunk my gloves in for use or decontamination or bleaching if you like, and use the next day. So have a think about it. We're using various kits, so I could just wipe down the various barbells, kettlebells and the like. Don't forget, if you're in the gym, wipe down the mats you're using. Like I say, just little sponge them down, sensible precautions, and most of the stuff here can be wiped down quite easily. It's plastic based. Off the handles of the kettlebells, sensible stuff. I just wipe it down. If I'm using the gym down the road, then what I tend to do is go in there, decide what I'm going to do. I've never actually met anybody down there in the last few weeks, but I'll just decide what kit I'm going to do, give it a wipe down before I use it, use the kit, do my session, do my routine, and then wipe it down before I leave. Not forgetting to wipe down things like the doors I use, the toilet if I use a toilet, light switches, and there's a little keypad lock as well on the way in. Obviously just giving that a wipe down as well. Just a bit of respect for other gym users and just keeping things as safe as they can be. I can either wipe it down, or if I'm doing a group session, not so much now, but certainly I did a group session, my last Dragabout session a few weeks ago, and in that bag there is all my collection of resistance bands. So basically I had a little dunk tank right at the end of it. I left them in the bag there. There goes the kettlebell in the old dunk tank. Once again, a bit of washing up liquid or a bit of chlorine bleach. Finish the session, get me bands, stick them in there, wash them out, and then hang them up to dry. Simple as that. Really, once again, very straightforward, not over the top, not Howard Hughes style, just a sensible response to an obvious threat. It works for everything. I've got a pull-up bar there, just wipe that down. TRX straps, all this stuff can be easily washed down, decontaminated with very little effort at all. So there you go, bikes, everything, just a bit of thought, a bit of advanced thought beforehand. What kit am I going to use? How can I keep myself protected? Wear my gloves to start with, and obviously I'm going to be sweating a little bit, blowing out a bit of whatever when I'm working hard, and obviously spreading my bodily fluids around. And I just want to protect myself and protect others, and just keep it nice and straightforward and safe. Now, something else I forgot to mention here, a few visual clues for me. Temperature. I've been keeping my temperature, or just measuring my temperature, under the arm, under the tongue, twice a day for the last few weeks. Interestingly, I gave blood yesterday and noticed that when I got home, I gave blood about 2 o'clock, got home a few hours later, had a bit of diarrhea as it happens, so my temperature's gone up. I also took my temperature, and it's a degree above normal. So when you think about it, I've got a higher temperature, only about 36, got a bit of diarrhea. Have I got COVID-19? No, I haven't. I've just given blood, and my body, which is already producing about 2 million blood cells a second, is now working a bit harder. It's just lost 470 millilitres. So I've got some of the symptoms, because they're not symptoms of COVID-19. My body's working harder, my temperature's gone up. It's trying to replace 470 millilitres of blood that I've just shed or got rid of or given away. Okay, so just be sensible when you're thinking about some of these symptoms. You may or may not have a virus, you may just have a bodily reaction to something you're doing anyway. Okay, 2 other things I'll talk about. I listen to a lot of podcasts these days. I've got some of these bone induction mics and little speakers that sit just in front of your ears. One thing I will recommend, if you're interested in this sort of stuff, is a book, audio book I'm listening to, called Deadliest Enemies by Michael Osterholm. Really interesting. He wrote it in 2017. He's worked on AIDS, he's worked on SARS, he's worked on MERS. If you really want to know the bottom line science behind a lot of this stuff, and get a measured idea about how many people actually are affected by various conditions the world over, and start putting this whole thing into a bit of proportion. I know it's serious, but get a proportionate idea about what's going on. Every year, for example, 50,000 people die a year in mainly Asia from rabies, which hasn't been eradicated yet. And the last thing, just like I say, I'm not diminishing anything, but just have a think about, there's lots of issues going on the world over, and the fact that it's a drip drip rather than a sudden thing doesn't mean these threats are not all around us all the time, and it might give you a bit more proportionate perspective. The other thing I'm doing, I've been doing it for a couple of years, is keeping a journal. I keep a journal just because it's not for anybody else's purposes but my own. Just it's just interesting for me to sort of collect my thoughts about various things. But during the COVID-19 outbreak, if you're sitting at home wondering what to do, why not do the same? Just record your thoughts, record your perceptions. Be quite interesting, quite therapeutic as well. Anyway, that's enough for me for today. 8 minutes 38, just under 9 minutes. Hopefully that's of some interest to you. Like I say, sensible, proportionate, pragmatic, rather than over the top, to keep yourself safe, keep the people around you safe, and also if you happen to be sharing facilities in a joint private gym like we do, just a bit of respect and a bit of courtesy to other people as well, so the thing stays as clean and safe and decontaminated as it can be. Anyway, have a good day. Talk to you soon. Cheers.